Dear listeners, just a quick heads up, these next 2 episodes are going to be a little different. Due to technical malfunctions, both my and Lex's audio was lost to the void, and Anna's recording ended up being with the wrong microphone. So the sound quality is not going to be great, the story might feel a little disjointed, but I have gone back through and outlined, and I'm going to attempt to piece things together the best that I can, because a lot of interesting things happen and I don't want you to miss it, but just bear with me for the next couple of episodes and then things will get back to their normal quality. In the meantime, sit back, relax, and enjoy your trip into the fallen city of Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Previously on Tempus, Multae, a group of heroes were recruited by a former doctor to go and assist his grandson, Joshua, who believes he may have a way to fix what happened 3 years ago when reality fractured and the rest of the world decided to just shut off Oak Ridge instead of trying to figure out how to save it. Since entering the Fallen City, our heroes have encountered some of the challenges that the residents who were unable to escape have faced, including a giant floating eyeball monster that tried to kill some teenagers. They also found out that power has gone out recently, and that's something that needs to be fixed potentially before they can go fix the city. So after assisting the teenagers and getting some supplies and more information on what's going on, they set out to go and find the power plant to fix whatever's going wrong with the power. They were also very politely warned to maybe stay away from the water treatment plant because something moved in there and it's not been an immediate issue, but it's not a good place to go. They sent a couple people to check things out and haven't heard back from those people, so it's a little concerning. After some discussion, our heroes decided to cut through the woods instead of following along the roads because it'll be faster to get to where they're going, and once they fix the power, they plan to go to the lab. But first, they have to find the power plant and figure out what exactly is going wrong there. So let's get into the story, shall we?
I'm just trying to keep it posy. You know, like I know that pretty much everyone here is not happy to be here. I really need to be here. And so like I'll go on by myself if I have to. But everyone's it seemed like they were down to do this and now don't seem so sure. So I'm just trying to keep it real positive, keep the fun going. It's yeah.
For the record, Jen was never down to do this.
This
never
is fair.
Once.
Jen, you could have said no, but you didn't.
Okay, but that's not the rules of consent. Didn't say no is not how that works.
Yeah, so you're just basically along for the ride.
I'm just here, yo. And I don't want to be.
You could always leave if you want to. You don't have to stay here.
I'm locked in here. That's what's keeping me going. I have no exit.
Yeah, but you could have stayed in the Waffle House where it's safe. You could have stayed back with the teens. Why do you keep going into this dangerous situation? What's keeping you going?
A sense of obligation. First off, Declan, though I believe he could physically keep himself safe, I think he would befriend something that would kill him real quick. And then I had a good talk with Medina about, kind of carrying on and carrying forward. So it's still like a begrudging sense of going forward, but like it's more about making sure everyone else gets out alive along with myself. Because I have a sense of, self-preservation, and it feels as though my friends do not. So if I'm the only one in the group with a sense of self-preservation, I'm the only one getting us out.
Fair enough. You all continue walking along the road, trying to not pay attention to how the world is continuing to shift and warp around you. It's unsettling. Some buildings and structures stay relatively the same, while others change drastically and some just disappear entirely to reappear as something else. It's even as you're surrounded by it, it's still hard to wrap your head around the fact that this used to be your home. Editor note, at some point in this description/conversation, Annabella chose to roll to assess the situation and got a partial success.
I guess what's the biggest threat? But in like the is there a threat sense?
You survey the area around you and there aren't any immediate threats. Yes, this place is creepy and unsettling and potentially nightmare fuel. But there's nothing in the vicinity that could pose a threat to you. That said, you know with the way things are shifting in that creature you saw outside, something could always change. That fact could always change. And something could show up and pose a threat. So you need to stay vigilant and preferably get out of this forest, out of these trees, sooner rather than later, just so reality doesn't have a lovely chance to throw something unexpected with very large teeth at you. As our heroes are walking through this forest, Medina notices that Jin is stressed out and having a hard time, so she rolls to pierce the mask to find some way to help Jen calm down. And she does roll high enough to be able to ask one question. Medina understands just how strange and stressful this is because she grew up here and this is nothing like what she remembered.
I don't know, because like Jen grew up here too, so probably something that like reminds her that this isn't like super fucky, like something of like when they were growing up and it wasn't wonky would probably help alleviate some of the anxiety. To be like, hey, it's not all fucked up here. It's not an eyeball monster. Look, a plant.
As they're walking through the forest, Medina notices and points out a baseball field. That's something that has been studied across the realities, something that they would recognize, and it's something familiar. It's not some weird, threatening, otherworldly thing. It's normal. It's mundane. It's potentially boring, depending on how you feel about baseball.
What about either of our characters says that we've never gone to a baseball game? What do you mean? We both seem so sporty.
Well, yeah, but it's solid. It's a steady reminder of home, and things were more simple and more normal before reality fractured and everything fell apart.
Aww.
After this conversation might be when they actually decided if they were going to cut through the woods or follow the roads.
Oh, well, anything that would cut down on time might be great.
I don't disagree, but we should make sure that it's all the way you remember it and not broken.
Oh, like the town was scrambled.
Right.
Declan tries and fails to vibe check whether the woods is safe or not. Decides it's totally safe, nothing threatening there, and they keep talking more about baseball.
You're doing so good.
Okay, cool.
Doing so good.
I look at the baseball cap that Jen's got to go, baseball, the American great past the time.
Yeah, my dad really liked it. Alright, through the woods. To the woods. Nothing bad could happen in the woods. Never once. The woods are a notoriously safe place.
Hey, as Stephen Sondheim once wrote, anything can happen in the woods.
This is true. He also wrote, "There are giants in the sky," and let's hope that one's also not true.
They're up there. We just don't see them.
Into the woods.
Through the woods.
As you step into this forest, you realize just how potentially dangerous this situation can be. It's not a forest per se, it's just like a wooded area for like a block. But stepping into it is like stepping into a bunch of other worlds smashed together, because it's basically a bunch of different versions of this patch of trees smashed together. You look at a tree and it looks just normal, and then you look away and you look again and it's like a little sapling, and then you look away and you look again and it's this giant old decrepit tree. Time is shifting and warping around you. Sometimes really strange things will briefly show up and then disappear. It's a little disorientating. There's nothing immediately threatening, nothing approaches you. But it's almost like walking through a dream. Not quite a nightmare, but one of those unsettling dreams where you can't quite figure out what's going on.
I don't like that at all.
Certainly not pleasant.
Okay. Horrifying. Fun.
At some point in your walk through the woods, you come across this creature that looks like a rabbit, but when you look closer, it's got these little horns.
Oh, hello, you. And I sort of do like the like hands on the knees as I sort of squat.
A jackalope.
You have these things for real?
Nope.
No.
No, we don't.
Oh, okay.
Don't touch that. But also, I feel like we could fight like a jackalope. Like, I feel like in the scale of things that we could see and have to fight, I'll take a jackalope.
Come on, team. I think that we could take on at least 2 jackalopes.
The jackalope just casually melts into the darkness with no explanation while staring at you.
Cool.
Okay,
Yeah, cool,
moving
cool.
on.
You continue on, hoping you will not run into anything else like that weird horned rabbit or any of its friends, because you don't know what else is going to be in here. And it goes back to the normal level of creepy and weird, and the next thing you come across is a cabin. It's relatively small, but it's 2 stories. It looks pretty nice, well kept, it looks secure, it looks normal, solid. Like, this is another thing that is consistent across different realities. Which is strange that it's cabin in the middle of the woods, but no stranger than the Waffle House, I guess.
All I know is I've never met a good cabin in the woods.
Yeah. No, I recall.
Medina mentions a movie about a cabin in the woods where the cabin wasn't actually all that bad.
It was, but the things that in said cabin, in said woods, not...
I haven't seen this movie. Is it good?
Medina replies that yes, the movie's good, though it's not Declan's kind of movie.
Probably not.
Okay. So you know me a little then? What? Nothing. I didn't say anything.
Medina just walks away from the conversation at this point.
Okay, woods.
Are we going to continue to talk about outdated movies?
I imagine you've all been having this conversation as you're walking. Like, you're walking and talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. The good old walk and talk.
Oh, a lovely walk and talk, if you will. Yes.
Better than a horrifying walk and talk.
This is very fair. You make a good point.
As you say that, one of the trees that's in front of you just vanishes. No explanation, just disappears.
Maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
What do you think would happen if, like, when it disappeared, like, I stood where it was, and then it came back?
Probably nothing good.
Ugh.
After a few more minutes of walking through the strange, ever-shifting woods, you exit, finally, onto a road.
Fantastic! Your shortcut worked so well! Go team!
Indeed, it did, because you are standing before the parking lot with the water treatment plant and power plants directly in front of you.
The power plant and then the water facility we were told not to go to.
Yep, that one. So, how do you approach?
Yeah, probably quietly,
Yeah.
I would guess.
Quiet.
Medina says something that makes it clear that she is less than happy about something to do with the situation.
Are you okay?
I'm sensing a little bit of passive aggression.
She's not being passive-aggressive, she's just annoyed.
Oh. Okay.
You need a minute? Or like a couple minutes? We can take a break.
Okay, we can do.
Medina insists that she's fine and she just wants to get this over with.
My demeanor is stuck like this.
Lovely. Okay.
Can I assess the situation? Oh.
Sure, you can roll to assess the situation. Also, if anyone would like to roll to pierce the mask on Medina.
Sounded like Jen was on that.
You don't want me to be on that. I think I would be bad at both of those.
I have a +2 to superior, so
yeah, I'm
that
a
might
-1.
be helpful.
Maybe you should assess the situation.
I'll assess the situation mostly because I'm ignoring you.
I mean,
Oh,
I can
okay.
roll to pierce the mask, but I'm not good at mundane.
So this is going to be an all-around pleasant time. Wonderful.
Oh, that's not bad. That's a 7 to pierce the mask. Can I go a little off script and ask what the fuck is wrong with you? Is that an appropriate pierce the mask question?
Lex explains that Medina is trying her best to be less annoying, but she is still very angry with Annabelle.
Okay.
Oh, this is less annoying. Okay. That was out of character, sorry.
Yeah, so I saw you two had a conversation. Of course, I didn't want to eavesdrop on said conversation, but then after that conversation, you became like a weird team robot, and I just checking in. Just
Medina tries to brush off the concern.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever heard you use the word team this much, ever. Are you gonna tell me what's going on, or am I gonna have to guess?
Medina explains that she's just making an effort to work with the team and be a team player.
Okay, and were you told that you weren't working with the team?
Yes, Medina explains. Annabelle
Okay.
told them that she wasn't.
It sounds like maybe communication skills were not the best in that conversation, and if you would like maybe a mediator to have that conversation again, I would be more than happy, because whatever this is, freaking me out, like a lot.
Medina brushes this off and explains that she's just not going to be charging ahead into situations without consulting the team first.
But that's like the thing you do. That's like the thing you do, and then you call back and let me know if something's safe, and quite frankly, that's pretty great. Okay, so you're gonna let one person's opinion change who you are entirely as a person. Cool.
I think it's simple enough to pick up that things are not great interpersonally. I think I'm not uninsightful enough to pick up that things are weird. I think I'm just going to assess the situation, because I think underneath the veneer of joy and confidence, Dakaris has a little bit of, okay, I need to get the fuck home, and at this point, everyone's just kind of making it more hard.
Whatever do you mean? We're being so helpful.
So I'm just going to assess the situation to figure out what the fuck's happening. That is an 11 plus 2 for a 13.
Let's go.
Okay, that is the third time that this dice roller has rolled a 7 in a row. So I am going to no longer be using that because I think it's glitched. What here can I use to enter? Like, what's the best method of entry? Is it just going in through the front door? Is it sneaking in a back way? How's the best way to get in this place?
Annabelle, you've had a lot of military and tactical training, so you just immediately start scanning the building. You spot the main entrance, which appears to be unguarded, as well as you see signs where there might be an employee entrance. You could also potentially try going in through the windows, but the doors are probably going to be your safest bet. Also, this place looks pretty abandoned.
What here is the biggest threat is question 1. And then I think also, how could we best end this quickly? I think I will also ask. Like, in hopes of, like, kind of going off of what Angel was trying to do. Like, best, like, route of entry and, like, best way to kind of get in there the fastest.
Dakaris, you notice the same 2 entrances that Annabelle did. You also notice there's this weird area effect that seems to be encompassing both buildings. It's hard to describe. And as you're staring at it, trying to figure it out, you suddenly see 2 very confused looking superheroes just appear in the parking lot. And you don't know how, but you know whatever's happening is part of whatever effect is spread over this area. And whatever's going on, these 2 supers seem to be stuck in it. But the good news is if you're looking for more information, these 2 probably have it.
Hello? Are you okay?
The speedsters zip on up to the 4 of you, and one of them says, "Yeah, we're okay, just a little stuck in a bit of a complicated situation. How long have you all been here? When did you get here?"
Just recently. We're here to turn the power back on, but it seems like it's more of a... And I look back towards the waste plant, and I'm like there's probably something more than just a mechanical issue.
Yeah, we've been trying to figure out exactly what's going on. The best we can tell is there's a bit of a loop and some sort of duality. We could use some help figuring this out to get the power back on.
I do. Whether or not the rest of you do is up to you.
Yeah.
I am backing up Declan.
Nice. Aliens take the wheel.
Hey, you know the funny thing about the Jesus take the wheel joke is originally Annabelle was the divine.
So there we go.
We ancient aliens ourselves.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah.
You, at this point, notice that the speedsters are twins, known as, they introduce themselves as Blitz and Pacer, and one of them asks, "What day is it?"
Ew, twins.
No, it's weird here. It was whatever day it was when we left. But I feel like things are a little different here.
That may be the understatement of this century. And it's only gotten weirder since the power went out.
Yeah, well, what are you... I guess what's happening? What were you trying to fix? The power?
Didn't they say that that they'd sent some people and they'd never come back?
Oh, they may have mentioned that.
Am I making that up, or is that
that sounds
a thing
familiar?
that was said?
You remember Kirsten mentioning some people had gone in to try and fix it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Are you the ones looping, or is something making you loop?
Blitz replies, "We're not causing it, we're just stuck in it, and we can kind of remember. We don't really remember a whole lot about what happened in previous loops, but we're at least aware that we're looping."
I think it's whatever's over in the water plant.
That was gonna be my guess, too.
Yeah, we've been able to piece together that whatever's in the water plant is causing the problems in the power plant. We just can't seem to deal with it ourselves. If some of you wouldn't mind helping out, we might be able to get this taken care of, and then hopefully the looping will stop. We'd really appreciate it. I don't know how long we've been doing this.
I turn towards the team. The team.
How many times are we gonna say fucking team?
A lot, apparently. So, well, I guess I was wrong, and I don't know, like, my technological skills probably aren't going to be very helpful, because I don't think it's a hardware thing. I think it's whatever's over in the gross water treatment plant is doing something. So...
Yeah, the water treatment plant we were told not to go to, yeah.
Where we were told not to go to, yeah.
Yeah, there's a really strong possibility that whatever's in the water treatment plant is causing the power drain that's been happening over in the power plant. And with this weird duality effect, both sides need to be dealt with at the same time to get the loop to stop happening, I think.
So what I'm hearing is they want us to split our already small party into even smaller chunks, which is so great and definitely not going to end in one of us dying. Great.
You all realize I can't actually kill you in this game, right?
I mean, there's passing out.
Ominous.
Okay, so
That is an
Two
ominous
of us-
thing you just said to us.
2 of us to the water treatment plant, 2 of us to the power plant, with no way to communicate with each other.
We have walkie-talkies.
Okay, great. Love that.
Medina reminds Jim that those teenagers they ran into earlier survived here this long so far without any issues, so if they can do it, we can too.
They have gotten really good at staying in the Waffle House when things are outside.
Editor note, at this point, there is a bit of back and forth between Medina and the speedsters talking about the finer details of what's going on, I think. I don't remember exactly what happened in the conversation, but it wasn't overly pertinent to the overall story. It just happened. The important thing is information was gathered, details were exchanged, and the start of a plan was made for how to deal with what's going on at the plants.
I don't like this tension. I must say, this tension is bad. It's a really bad time.
Declan, you could go with Medina.
Roll to pierce the mask.
Oh, I could. It's me roll to pierce the mask. That's a 7.
We could make the 2 go in a get-along shirt and go together.
I'm not gonna ask what do you want me to do because I'm sure it's gonna be hurtful.
It's gonna be mean. That's so true.
What do you intend to do, I guess?
Medina intends to do her best.
Awesome.
So cool.
This is your best.
Is there like cars parked, I'm assuming, like some abandoned like vehicles or stuff around?
Sure.
Awesome. This is gonna be cold. I'm gonna go and prefer like an older car that would still have like a cigarette lighter, sort of the contraption in there, and I yoink it out. And I'm gonna try to rig it like I rigged the panini press. So I'm gonna roll alien tech.
give me the roll, but don't say the number. Just message it to me.
We still need to figure out how we're splitting the party, and I dread the answer to that question.
You are the two who know the most about this situation. What do you think would be most useful on either side?
Whoever goes into the water treatment plant is definitely going to need to be able to handle themselves in a fight, and if you have people who are more problem solvers, tech inclined, be better to send them to the power plant, but you need to be ready to face just about anything on either side because we don't specifically remember a lot of what we've seen so far.
Do you want all of our muscle over there?
Then who of us feel comfortable with fighting? It would be a fight, yes?
And here we briefly bounce back to a conversation that had been started when Dakaris handed Medina something.
To continue what I was saying when I gave you that box, I give you that and I go, you don't want to be here. And whatever is happening between the two of you, whatever this grudge is going to get us killed if this happens at the wrong time. So you don't want to be here, and if this is the way things are going to be, then I don't think I want you here either. I came here because I really need to be here. There's something I really need, and it's clear you're not taking this seriously. So you have a ticket out if you want to go. I hope you stay, and that we can actually work together. But if you do go, get Jen to safety too, please. I'll turn to the speedsters. I say, I'm really good with machines and stuff, so I can probably go to the plant, the power plant, and help out that way.
How loud was this conversation? Did everyone else hear?
I would say I try to keep that pretty quiet, and if I can keep that just between me and Medina, I do.
Hey, Medina, roll to take a powerful blow.
Fucking valid, dude.
Yeah.
It's plus conditions, so you add the number of conditions you have.
You have 5 conditions?
No, I think that was the rolled 5.
I was like, you have 5 conditions?
Sweet Jesus. Who hurt you?
Medina rolled low enough to be able to shrug off the powerful blow. She does take the device, saying that she will stay until the job is done. And the reason that the blow doesn't land as hard as it did on the actual player, because holy cow, was that savage and just so well done. Kudos to Taylor Tuttle. Medina didn't particularly care for being told off by an alien child.
I'm not a child. I'm 17.
I'm an adult.
Oh my god, you're a baby.
There's a moment where Alexis Medina contemplates breaking the machine, but ultimately they decide not to. Which, I mean, it would have been dramatic, but maybe not the best idea when dealing with alien tech in a scary reality warping place.
Don't break the machine, that could get you out.
After not breaking the alien machine Dakaris gave her, Medina reassures everyone that she intends to make sure everyone stays safe and that everyone gets out of this in one piece, and she doesn't want to see people get hurt.
I saw this in after school special.
It was about drugs.
No, that there's a difference between intent and impact. And so, although you may not intend for others to get hurt, whatever point you're trying to make with this attitude you have, I know that you wouldn't do anything to hurt Jen. And that's one of the things I think I admire most about you. But whatever is here, I need to get home. I need to get home. And I can't. I don't know. I need you to work with me and with us.
Medina agrees that she will work and fight alongside the team to do what needs to be done, and that she won't let her grudge with Annabelle or anything else that's going on get in the way of that.
Okay.
A question for Regin, since you are the closest to Dakaris, and you're secretly in love with him. How do you feel about the fact that he just wants to go home? And that if this succeeds, if this works and he's able to go home, you may never see him again.
I don't want it to happen, but that's okay. Like, if putting myself in someone's shoes to be so far away from home and be somewhere totally new and totally uncomfortable, no matter how much happy-go-lucky you are, that's not easy. And you can only pretend that it's not easy for, you can only pretend that it's easy for so long. And if we can stave off what I feel is the inevitable breakdown that comes with being somewhere totally new and totally foreign and totally scary, if we get him home before that, that's the goal. I won't be happy, but that's the goal. I would rather have an unbroken Declan than a broken one who's here.
Game Master, would a moment like this, where there is a come to Jesus moment of sorts here, would that be something that would have someone lose influence over me? Because as I think the sparkly anime eyes have become a little less sparkly. Because like right now, Medina has influence over me. I don't know what gains or loses that, or if that is a narrative thing.
There is no hard and fast rule about losing influence, except for in cases where it's a consequence of a role, or if they try and use influence over you and you decline it. So there's no hard and fast rule.
Yeah, I didn't know if it like resolved like a condition in Monster Hearts War, like if it like narratively fits for a thing to resolve or not. It's just a question. If not, no big deal.
Given recent conversations with Medina, it would make sense if you wanted to shift that to somewhere else.
Yeah, is dwindling
What do you
a little.
mean? Is someone actively mean to you? You don't want to continue to have a crush on? Weird.
Who knows? Maybe your crush is starting to shift to someone who's a little more mutual.
Was in front of me all along.
So, we've agreed Medina's going to go fight something. We have agreed that is where Medina is going.
Yeah.
The other three of us are up in the air.
Yes.
I will go to the power plant.
Declan would like to go to the power
where
plant,
I'm going to be
right?
most useful,
Yeah.
because also if there's anything they need fighting, I'm also pretty good at that because my arms are alien weapons.
To
So
save the group from potential destruction, I will go with Medina, and I will take one walkie-talkie, and I will give the other to Declan. No?
No.
Medina. Medina, we can talk about this. You and I can have a heart-to-heart really quick about how maybe you and I should go together for just like
Old times.
sure. That, and not that I feel like maybe the hostility that both of you are harboring is not healthy for anything. And don't look at me like you've never harbored hostility before, Medina, because I know you have.
Medina insists on going with Angel to fight the monster in the water treatment plant, even though they don't get along very well.
Yeah.
Do you really want to go with her, Medina? Like,
Angel, roll to pierce the mask of Medina.
Oh, bad. 5.
Oh. Hey, that's
I'm
potential.
not paying attention to anything.
That's potential.
Yeah, that is potential.
so maybe you would like to explain to me why you want to go with the one you were just arguing with in a Waffle House maybe 20 minutes ago?
Here, Medina explains her reasoning for wanting to go along with Angel while the other two go to the power plant.
You have a point. However, how do I put this in the nicest way possible? Yeah, I know you wouldn't, but I would.
What did you say, Annabelle?
I'm going to talk to the speedsters. So which of you is going where?
I'm power plant.
I think the speedsters are also splitting.
Yeah, one's going with me to
Yeah.
the power plant, one's going to the water treatment. So.
It's purple and blue. One's purple, one's blue.
Oh, so that fits my aesthetic big time. Let's go.
I'm standing with
Blitz.
Pacer. Going to the fight at the water treatment plant.
Pacer is going to the power plant.
Blitz, then.
Nice.
Going with Blitz.
As the party is continuing to discuss their decision, Decorus, you sense something is starting to shift between the two plants. Whatever effect is going on, something is still happening even though things are not proceeding as they have in previous loops. And you're not sure what that means or how much time you have before something happens.
Oh, okay, make your decisions very quickly because something is starting to happen. Yes, I'm gonna go this way. I point towards the power plant. Me and Pacer are gonna go do this one. Does anyone want to come with us?
Fine. And I'll go with Declan.
Now that the decision has been made, Blitz and Pacer run up so they are one between each pair of you, and they loop their arms through yours. And it's this weird sensation as you move very quickly as they speed, pulling you along into the different target locations to see if maybe this time they can fix what's going on.
Super speed, that was great.
Well, yeah, sorry that was a little abrupt and sudden, and we didn't give you a heads up. We just don't exactly have a lot of time to waste here.
I agree. Let's go.
Thank you for listening to Season 3 of Tempus Multae. If you like what we're doing, please feel free to go support us on Patreon at patreon.com/pseudonymsocial, or give us a follow on social media at pseudonymsocial. This season, we have Lex Olden as Medina, Sanctum Cosplays as Regen, Taylor Tuttle as Decaris, and Casey Glover as Annabelle Joyce.